spits the gum in the rice. Why? You're done eating, right? Throw that out with the rest. Okay, so I'm sort of in this limbo right now of like all these shows being on the verge of finishing, like Heavenly Delusion, Oshinoko, Vinland, and I'm just waiting to do a review on those. I'm fiending to do Vinland. I'm so ready to do the Vinland one, especially because that show has been something else, and I'm just ready to ride that shit all the way to the sunset, to be honest. But no, as I always do, I was like, let me start something new, and I've been pestered. When I mean pestered, the person's gonna be watching this video, I'm not even gonna specify because they know who they are. Show's been out for 19 weeks now, 20 weeks. He's been asking me to watch it from maybe 6 months before that, when the prologue dropped on a pirated website. But if you haven't seen the show, there will be spoilers for the prologue and the first 2 official episodes of the show, so just keep that in mind. Immediately when I started this little prologue, I guess I was getting like a Star Wars vibe from it. Again, I have no knowledge on this Gundam shit, so if I say something ignorant, you could correct me in the comments and we could go from there. And I don't think I've seen many prologue for shows in general, but I will say this was a strong start. I was kind of mad that I was enjoying it, because you know when someone tells you to watch something or someone tells you to do something over and over again, and then you're like, damn, that shit was kind of good, but you like don't want to admit it. I was like, damn nigga, that shit was fire. No, so we start off with this lady pilot in this big suit, and I guess it's this girl's birthday, Eri. I know in episode 1 and 2 she has a different name, and I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's just something I missed. Seems like I'm in this show as well, and my girlfriend did have red hair not too long ago, so this is basically us. But no, it seems like there's a lot of politics in this show in regards to these Gundams, and a little bit later in this prologue, it's like, I guess people are angry that the Gundam are using like the human's life force, and basically it's like a sacrificial mech. We also find out that Eri's mom is part human, part robot, because her hand malfunctions and almost sets the place ablaze. Oh wait, no, we're in space. I'm tripping. Aside from that though, they have their little birthday celebration. The mom's arm falls off. She needs to oil it up with some WD-40, do whatever with it. And we got Eri roaming around the facility unsupervised, and she's just floating around. She comes across her mom's mech, and I guess this lady's her grandmother too. I don't know what she is, but I know that she's not a good influence because she just plops the child right into the fucking cockpit of the mech. I guess with this mech, they're trying to wake it up, quote unquote, and it's like kind of dormant right now, but grandma is up in there running some tests. I don't know, but she's looking cool as hell. And I could already tell that this girl's gonna be a prodigy in some way, because this is how all these shit start. And obviously in the fucking thumbnail, she has her own mech. So it's probably gonna be some shit, I'm assuming when I'm watching it, oh, okay, she's gonna wake it up, and then her mom's gonna be able to use the mech. Grandma's side piece is calling her. And this is where the shit started getting a little crazy. It started getting a little dark. This other organization, I guess, the people who are against the Gundams are infiltrating this base. We got me looking for my wife. Eri's up in the mech doing whatever the fuck she was doing, talking about strawberry cake. He decides he's gonna go out into the front lines and fight, while the council unleashes their whole military arsenal onto this little base. So within like 5 minutes, this shit becomes like an all-out mech war. Like the choreography of some of these mechs, because these are big looking, you know, there's a lot of like different angles you gotta hit with these big ass mobile suits, and it's just like, I feel like the show animates the shit really well, and the colors in this show are like great. And then Buddy's at the podium giving a Tiber type of speech. I've come to one conclusion: weapons are used for killing people. Humans are supposed to kill humans. Weapons aren't supposed to kill humans. Therefore, Gundams are bad. It progressively was just getting more and more and more intense when I tell, like, the shit. It's definitely an experience, and maybe I'm overhyping it, but I really don't think I am, because I went into the show not really expecting to like it. And they pull up on grandma, 3v1 on her. Like, why are they trying to get busy with her like this? I just don't even understand. Nigga pulls up, Dr. Carbo, you are going to die here. Just as an infant has to put on clothes, humanity must don the gun to truly go out into space. But y'all boys really don't understand that. That's what's frustrating me right now. You didn't even give us a chance to excel. So now it's simple. If you're taking away my future, I'm taking away yours. And like, the shit's already turning up now, but Eri's mom goes to the mech where Eri's at. They chill in the mech together, and it's like, obviously at this point I'm like, okay, Eri probably synced up with the shit and whatever, and now the dude's awake, or the mech's awake, and the mom's sitting here scared as hell, like, damn, this is not good at all. And I guess only Eri can now pilot it. I thought as long as like the systems were functioning and the person who's like connected to this via their mind or however the Gundam works is in the cockpit, someone else could steer the ship. That's what I thought. But no, this girl's a demon, man. Again, I don't know if the mom is like, she has to be helping. There's no way, but the girl's pointed on the screen like she's playing Star Fox or something, having a good time. And she doesn't even know what she's doing. She's just having fun with this shit. But it was still kind of like demonic at the same time, because she's laughing here, sitting, giggling. Her mom is petrified, like, damn, why I just gave birth to a goblin. One of the ops pulls up on them, but dad comes in to save the day. So he's just putting all of his life into this now, trying to save them by sacrificing himself. And it's a very emotional scene. If I didn't see the Naruto birthday scene with Minato, this scene would have made me cry, or at least tear up, because he starts singing happy birthday over the intercom, I guess you could say, to the girl, and she starts singing it back with him, and it got cut short too. He was like, happy birthday, and then it was like done. I was like, damn, that's sad. And then she ends the song, like the last lyric, and then everything blows up. It's like such an artistic, like, it's so clean, I'm not even gonna lie. You could feel the hurt from the mom, like she's clearly distraught, and then this girl is oblivious to what's going on. She thought she was playing a fucking arcade game at Chuck E. Cheese and she's about to get her birthday tokens. Ended off with Buddy saying that they're gonna ban all Gundams. So I was told after the prologue, the show kind of dies down a bit in terms of how intense everything is, and we start to build up again from like a school setting. And I don't know where she's at when this first episode starts, which space station or wherever, but she goes and saves this girl who ends up becoming an important character in this first 2 episodes. And I'm assuming the rest of the series, since I've seen people ship this character with the main character on different posts before. So, I mean, I'm assuming she's like a, what are they called? Deuter antagonist or something like that. I don't even remember what they're fucking called. She starts going to school at this new school. And like off the bat, they have like bullies here. I don't know why. And this is not like the last time this happens. This seems to be a common thing. There's a lot of discrimination going on. She's apparently from Mercury. I see them talk about like Spatians and Earthians. The 3 girls from Ed, Ed, and Eddie pull up on her, asking her why she transferred here. You know, the typical rundown. If you're gonna roast someone, like she sounds so proper with it, I'd even feel any animosity coming for it. It sounded more so of a compliment, because the middle girl says, so did she tell you to also wear that old-fashioned hairband? Nigga, this is a classic. Why are her little girls laughing at her? Like, that shit was funny. I guess Suletta's just very antisocial. I don't know what her upbringing was from when she slaughtered basically everyone, including her father. Who knows if her mother's even alive, because she said at one point her mother's alive. Maybe she slaughtered her in cold blood, singing happy birthday. I don't know. Maybe. I guess the other girl, Miorian or whatever her name is, she's like not royalty, but her dad is very influential in the school and he makes all the rules in this place. And out of nowhere, 2 students start boxing in mechs. I guess this is a normality over there. And it's like the rules behind it are kind of revolving around this white-haired girl, because it's like whoever wins these duels is automatically Miorian's fiance. As a dad, you got to step back sometimes and really think to yourself, like, what am I doing here? The types of rules that this nigga makes, I would run away to Earth too. Purple mech wins clearly, because you could tell the technological difference. I don't care what rules my dad puts in place. I'm not marrying you if your first name is Ghoul. It's not happening. Did you see that, Miaria? This is how Ghoul Jeddark fights his duels. Both you and the company, they're both gonna be mine soon, shoddy. And I'm a he sucks. And Suletta and Miorine, I'm gonna say that's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but they're having a little bonding moment at her tomato garden, and Mr. Gule pulls up and he's trying to spit game, not in the most appropriate way. And I know he's a really stuck-up rich kid, but you've got to have some common sense, right? How are you gonna pull up into her domain saying, I came up with a bright idea, you're gonna live in my house? I never agreed to this shit. Well, your father put these rules in place, sweetie. You think I always gotta listen to my dumbass dad? I mean, look at yourself, Strawberry Frosting. Aren't you daddy's little lapdog? She was kind of going off on him a little bit, just a tad bit. So, and his response to that, very smart move, very smart play here. Let me destroy her plants that she's been growing for however many days, years. Let me squish her tomatoes. Let me just throw my quote-unquote fiance onto the ground. Let me push her onto the ground. Suletta's trying to figure something out, but everyone's on their phones doing whatever, not even caring. And I knew he had some zest to him too, because Suletta figures she should de-escalate the situation by smacking his ass. Look at the pose he's hitting. That's some JoJo shit. And she's a funny character. I'm not gonna lie, like her like anxiousness is kind of annoying at times, but it is funny. And then he's basically talking, he was like, oh, unless you want to duel me yourself, and she accepts and she's like, fine, I'll fucking duel you. But then Mioria takes Suletta's mech out, doesn't know how to pilot the shit, and she's losing bad. And then Suletta somehow gets onto the battlefield, hops in the cockpit with this girl, and she pops off on this nigga. It's crazy because he's rolling around in his mech with those big ass ankles. And I don't know what these flying objects are that she like can control, but she has like damn near 10, 12 of them, however much. and before he even has a chance to like move, she just unloads all the clips and his shit gets slashed front, right, left, and center. He's saying that like, nigga, what just happened? explosion. And I'm thinking she's done. This shit was kind of grabs behind her, pulls out her lightsaber, man. That's it. It was looking nice. Like the animation, clean. Slices the man just for the effect. And while this is happening, it seems like his dad is trying to execute the president. There's something fishy going on behind the scenes with that too. But like the scene with the feathers falling down and the sun coming through the clouds, and I could see why people were shipping them, just because Miorine was talking about how Suletta was now her new fiance due to the stipulations that her father already put in place. So then by default, they would have to get married. But then when the episode starts again, she's like, but obviously that wouldn't happen. But I really thought they were about to get frisky though, just because she was like, well, you're from Mercury. We're not like that over here. Anything goes. She was spitting game to Suletta. The problem was that people were recognizing that her mech was kind of like broken. So they confiscate her mech and they're threatening to destroy it. And they have her in the interrogation chamber and all. Your father is dead and your mother is currently assigned to Lagrange 1. Fact or cap? I already told you the answer. Fact or cap? Yes. Would you say that the machine that you were piloting was and is in fact a Gundam? Her name is Ariel and that's cap. And I really appreciate so far the politics in this show, man. There are a lot of different ideas being thrown around, and I feel like it really correlates to real life and how situations are handled nowadays when there are so many different opinions being thrown out, because we have this dude whose son just lost a one-on-one and he's upset, he's a sore loser. So he's sitting here trying to banish this girl back to Mercury. But then we have the elder here who while Daddy Ghoul is screaming at the top of his lungs, he's like, well, if we banish that girl, then your son will reclaim the title of the holder, won't he? Isn't that what Daddy wants? He wants to save his son's little baby ass, embarrassing his ass. And there's just a lot of tension. But yeah, now the whole school thinks she's a cheater as well. But then there's some people vouching for her, some people interested in what she's got going on, because I guess Gundams are like ancient technology at this point, since white-haired girl's dad banned them when they executed Suletta's whole fucking family and her whole origins. And this is what I'm talking about, this discrimination. Again, I feel like this is a very common theme, and this is going to be a very important idea in the show. Maybe I'm just overestimating this shit. But we've got these two kids and then Cotton Candy sitting next to them. These two girls pull up doing your stereotypical bully nonsense. And it's like, this is a 3-on-2. We're outnumbered. I'm not getting up. I am not getting up. Usual table or not, you can sit next to me. I'm eating my lunch. The girl with the blue hair is being very reserved. She's being calm about it. She's like, you know what? I'll just get up. It's fine. Let's go, guys. I finished my food anyway. She's barely even taking a bite out of her steak. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very fond of these Spatians either, because it's unnecessary shit like this, right? Spits the gum in the rice. Why? You're done eating, right? Throw that out with the rest. Nigga, if I was involved with this situation, this nigga is sitting here with his strong ass jawline. Look at that. Good God, that is a crazy ass fucking jaw. But he's standing here, he does not know what to do. And Cotton Candy's losing her mind. She's about to fucking pop off on them. Rightfully so though. This girl's talking about let's go Choo Choo, still has a smile on her face. And I could tell she was boiling because she's walking away not saying a word. And I'm actually expelling this kid from the school right now. I just realized what he did. Nika and Cotton Candy start walking away and he stays. As the Spatian girls are about to sit down, he says, sorry, I'll clean it up right away. This kid needs to hit the weight room, get a fade, come back after 6 months. You need to be able to hold your, what the fuck are you doing with a jaw that strong? You're really gonna sit here and clean up shit for people? Once you spit that gum on your friend's lunch tray, you could just take in a whole fucking snag out of hers with that fucking crocodile jaw. That interaction pissed me off though. That was definitely racist almost. I think it was. It might have been. And it seems like Marion is trying to escape to Earth, but she's also trying to get into contact with her dad to try and change these rules because she's peed off about the shit. And the lady that was initially going to take her pulls up on her, asking her if she wants to go, and then she agrees. So I'm thinking she's already earthbound and she's done. And while that's happening, Ghoul Jeddark is getting scolded by Pops about how he embarrassed the family. So a member of the Jeddark family lost a duel in a Jeddark mobile suit, and he clocks him in the head. I mean, that's good parenting. Do what you gotta do. We've got a business to run here. Forgive me, Papa. And then there's this other lady that pulls up that I don't know if she's a fit. I'm sure we'll learn about her in the future, but she has similar tech to what Suletta's mom had, but she has an Oculus on her head. And then she's called over to this interrogation briefing council meeting, whatever the fuck it is, because I guess they're suspected building these Gundams. But this is the shit I'm talking about. Why this whole thing they got going on is so corrupt, because they bring her to the podium. She's getting attacked from every angle on if that's a Gundam. And she's giving them receipts. She's giving them the stats. She's giving them analytics, everything. That shit doesn't prove it's not a Gundam though. Yeah, but you can't prove that it is a Gundam either. You're just using the lack of evidence as an excuse. Are you trying to tell us right now that black is white? Sir, I think we're all equal. Really, I mean, I'm not really trying to get into the race thing right now. But to simplify it, we're one of the smallest groups within this whole organization, so we understand the specifics of the cathedral agreement. I mean, when you barge into place dressed like that, how am I supposed to believe you? So then the lady, I didn't know what he meant by this. But she starts unbuttoning her shit. I'm thinking she's stripping down naked. I'm like, there's no way this is happening right now. But she rips off her arm. She throws the dude her arm, and she's basically saying that this technology she's using, she'll be able to mine for permit, which is this material, without putting anyone in danger, since I guess it's only on Mercury. If I'm interpreting that correctly, I don't know. Basically asking for everyone's support. And this nigga says, nah, that thing's a Gundam. How do you figure? Because I said so. And he's asking any objections, and I guess these people must get lashings because everyone's looking at each other, side-eyeing, not saying one word, keeping to themselves. But somehow his daughter infiltrates the place. Don't even know how she got in here because this is a classified meeting. Fuck are you doing here? I came to tell you off, you whack-ass nigga. That's what she said. You're a hypocritical bitch of a father. That's exactly what you are. And I'm gonna say that in front of all these boys. Just because you're my daughter, that doesn't mean anything. You have no authority to speak in this room. It's always the same with your dumbass. I just want everyone in here to know that he's been doing this shit for my whole life. All 17 years of them. He looks down on me, controlling my life without asking or explaining. I mean, just put me on a fucking leash already. Or this is why I kind of stopped watching here, because I feel like the series is just gonna pick up from here. She challenges this man to a duel. She's like, in that case, you know what? I challenge your ass to a duel. And if I win, you're gonna bring Suletta back and you're gonna keep her mech. And if we lose, you could do whatever the fuck you want. Send her back to Mercury, send me to prison. I don't give a fuck. You can marry me to that nigga Gyul tomorrow. The scenes in the show, very impactful. She goes to Suletta's cell, pounces on top of her, and she just says basically, we're gonna fight or you're being expelled and your mech's getting scrapped, so we're gonna go win this thing. And that's that. And that's where I am so far in the show. And I will say I'm wanting more. I like that there's like that slice of life portion and the character relationships and the character developments. And I haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of the shit yet. I really just started, but I can see where it could get dark just by how they orchestrated the scene of her singing happy birthday and like the silence of space and like how eerie that feeling was. And I do like that. I think the color palette in this show, magnificent as well. The show just looks very nice overall. I don't know what studio does it, but I think they've been doing a great job with the CGI as well. The CGI has been top notch. And the fighting, choreography of the mechs, and yeah, in the opening ending, I think Sobai, she's like 2 for 2 this year. She dropped the fucking opening for this show, which is solid. It's not better than Oshi no Ko, but the Oshi no Ko one and this, they're both bangers. So I mean, that's another plus of the show. The ending song is good too, and I think just visually, this whole show so far, I'm liking it a lot more than I anticipated to. So when I get to the end of the show, if people want me to do a full review of it, I will. But as of right now, my initial rating of the show, I think I would give it like an 8.5. I mean, it's a very enjoyable watch so far, and I could see the potential with it, and hopefully they just don't fold on it. And that's really all I gotta say about it. Vinland review coming soon. When this video is posted, it'll probably be like a week's time, week and a half, I would say, maybe a bit more. But yeah, without further ado, on to the next one. And yeah, that's it.